Hey, Tipo here. Ready for some fun English? Let's go.
Ladies and gents, dreamers and schemers, welcome back to another episode of Pod Chill. I'm your host Leo, here to sprinkle some humor into your headphones.
And I'm Gwen, your info-packed compass in the chaos Leo creates.
Oh, come on, Gwen. Without my chaos, your compass would just be spinning in boredom.
Okay, now here's my real introduction. I do actual strategy and storytelling. But I have to admit that I once nodded through a whole meeting about content strategy while I was secretly Googling what that even is.
That's exactly what we're talking about today. Fake it till you make it.
Whether it's pretending you're confident when you're terrified inside, or claiming you're proficient in Excel when you think of Lookup as a skincare brand, this phrase has snuck into our daily lives.
Or calling yourself a freelance consultant when your main client is your cousin's failed startup. No judgment. We've all been there.
But today we're digging deeper. Because there's a real tension here. When is faking it a valid strategy for growth? And when does it become dishonest?
This episode's not just for job seekers or startup founders. It's for anyone who's ever felt underqualified, overwhelmed, or like a total imposter wearing a grown-up costume. So basically, all of us.
Let's start at the beginning. There are generally two roads to success. First, the traditional route: hard work, study, practice, fail, learn, repeat.
Sounds exhausting. And the second road?
Fake it till you make it. You act like you belong even if you're still figuring things out.
Story of my life. I once pretended to know French to impress a girl. Let's just say I ended up ordering a plate of disappointment.
But in a professional sense, it's often about showing confidence or skills before you fully master them. Like taking a job you're 70% ready for and growing into it.
So, it's like dressing for the job you want, not the one you have.
Exactly. But the moment you fake facts, like your qualifications, experience, or expertise, you're not climbing a ladder anymore. You're building a trap.
So the big question is, how do we use this mindset for growth, not guilt?
Good question. And to answer that, let's look at the psychology behind confidence and self-presentation.
I'm ready.
Let's delve into the psychology behind this. Have you heard of power posing?
You mean standing like a superhero to boost confidence? Yeah, I've tried that before interviews.
That's the one. Social psychologist Amy Cuddy popularized this concept, suggesting that adopting expansive postures can increase feelings of power and confidence.
So by changing our body language, we can influence our mindset?
Precisely. It's about embodying confidence physically, which can, in turn, affect how we feel internally. Holding confident body language for just 2 minutes can increase testosterone, decrease cortisol, and shift your mindset.
Interesting. So you're saying, if I just stand tall and pretend I have my life together, my brain might actually fall for it? Wow, my brain is easier to convince than my ex ever was.
Nice try, but no. Power posing is not a replacement for real skill or emotional health. It's a tool. Like Red Bull for your confidence. Temporary, maybe jittery, but sometimes just enough to get through the day.
Interesting. Now let's talk about everyone's favorite fiction genre, the creative resume.
I've seen everything from digital ninja to brand warrior to coffee-fueled design overlord.
Look, sometimes it's not even that wild. People tweak timelines, inflate roles, or claim they led a project when they just attended all the meetings.
It's tempting, especially when job listings feel like they want a 24-year-old with 10 years of experience and 3 Nobel Prizes.
Must be fluent in Python, Mandarin, and corporate politics.
The problem is, when you lie on a resume and get caught, you lose credibility and the opportunity. Plus, some fields like law, finance, or medicine, those lies could lead to legal consequences.
So what's the ethical middle ground?
Highlight what you do have. Show your adaptability, fast learning, and real experiences. Don't say you're fluent in Excel if you cry every time someone mentions a pivot table.
Personal attack, but okay.
Think of it like this. If you're aiming above your current level, make sure you've got a rocket engine, as known as a learning plan, to close the gap fast.
Totally makes sense. Okay, Gwen. So far we've talked about individuals faking it to grow, but now, let's level up. What happens when businesses play this game?
Ah, yes. Welcome to the corporate circus, where sometimes fake it till you make it isn't just a mindset, it's a strategy in the boardroom.
You mean like when startups pitch billion-dollar dreams with a product that barely loads?
Exactly. And yet, sometimes that boldness works. Let's take a classic example. Steve Jobs.
Ah, Steve Jobs. That mean was such a genius at selling ideas, he could introduce a plain old toaster, call it iHeat. And people would still line up to buy it just because he made it sound revolutionary.
You really know how to exaggerate, Leo. In 2007, when Jobs unveiled the very first iPhone, parts of the software were buggy, unfinished, or even fake for the demo. But what he showed the world wasn't a lie. It was a vision.
I remembered that he didn't say, "This is perfect." He said, "This is the future. Trust me."
Precisely, and people did. Because the key difference was, there was a roadmap. There was a plan to make it real.
Meanwhile, Thomas Edison used to promote his inventions and attract investors even before he had fully figured them out. That man had courage and possibly zero chill.
It's called visionary bluffing. You bet on your ability to catch up with your promises.
I do this every time I accept a freelance gig and say, "Sure, I can totally animate a dancing elephant on Premiere Pro."
The danger is when that bluff has no backing, no plan, no skill, just smoke. That's when it crosses the line.
And that's when we leave startup energy and walk straight into scam territory.
But let's zoom into something even more relatable. Social media. Social media's full of those perfect posts. Number blessed, number girl boss, all that. And then you look at their 100,000 followers, and half of them don't even have profile pictures. Yeah, just those weird egg icons. Suspicious much?
Now, Gwen, be honest. Have you ever considered buying followers?
Never. But I did once Google how much it costs. Purely for research, obviously.
Same. And apparently, for $20, you too can have a personal brand that looks like you've made it, even if your biggest client is still your dog's Instagram.
This is where fake it till you make it gets messy. Because platforms reward visibility. If you look successful, more people follow. Brands offer deals, it snowballs.
But the reality? Some of these influencers are renting luxury apartments by the hour just to film lifestyle content.
Or posing in front of someone else's car with captions like, "When hard work pays off."
Bruh. I once saw a guy take a photo with a private jet. The comments were all, "So proud of you." Turns out it was a jet-themed photo booth at a convention.
That's the problem. When your fake image becomes your currency, you start living for illusion, not connection, not value, not growth.
And it hurts the people watching too. Young folks compare their real struggles to someone else's perfectly filtered life.
It causes anxiety, burnout. Because no one posts the 2 a.m. breakdowns, the rejection emails, or the ramen for dinner nights.
Except me. I post that stuff exclusively.
And that's why people relate to you, Leo. Realness resonates.
So the takeaway here? Faking it might give you fast attention, but authenticity builds something that lasts.
And yet, some folks never stop faking. They just scale it up, raise millions, lie to investors, and eventually make headlines, not for the reasons they hoped.
You mean we're entering the dark side of faking it?
Oh yes. First up, Enron. The company that pretended so well, Wall Street believed it was untouchable. Until it wasn't.
Oh, I heard about it. Enron is like what happens when fake it till you make it goes way too far and turns into lie until you get caught and go to court.
That's about right. Enron used complex accounting tricks to hide massive debts, inflate earnings, and create the illusion of endless growth.
And everyone believed it. Investors, banks, employees. until the whole empire collapsed like a Jenga tower in a wind tunnel.
Over 20,000 people lost their jobs. People's retirement savings were wiped out. One of the top accounting firms, Arthur Andersen, was destroyed. That's the scale of the damage.
That's not just a business scandal. That's human lives ruined because some folks at the top couldn't admit the truth. And then there's the queen of fake-it energy, Elizabeth Holmes. She started a company called Theranos and said it could run hundreds of blood tests using just one tiny drop of blood.
Oh, this story made headlines everywhere. Sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, but in real life, it was mostly made up.
Yeah, the machines didn't actually work, but she still showed fake demos, got tons of money from investors, and even signed deals with Walgreens.
And real people used those fake test results to make medical decisions? That's seriously scary.
It was. She crossed every ethical line and put people's health at risk. In the end, she got caught and was found guilty of fraud.
Last example, more recent. Charlie Javis, founder of a startup called Frank, which claimed to simplify financial aid for students.
Sounds noble. Helping students? Love that.
Except, she allegedly fabricated millions of fake user accounts to make the company look bigger than it was.
Wait, she made up people?
Yep. She sold Frank to JP Morgan for $175 million. Later, they sued her for fraud.
So, her version of fake it was more like create an imaginary village and sell it to a bank.
The consequences? Legal charges, public disgrace, and a crater where her reputation used to be.
Damn. That escalated quickly.
These cases show how a mindset that starts as empowering can become catastrophic if it loses its ethical grounding.
So maybe the real key to making it is knowing when to stop faking. After all that fraud drama, I feel like we need a shower. Is there a version of fake it that doesn't end with you getting arrested?
Absolutely. The goal isn't to cancel the idea entirely, it's to use it intentionally. Because when done right, fake it till you make it isn't about lying. It's about leading with potential.
Oh, I like that.
Well, let's start with personal branding. In a hyper-connected world, how you present yourself matters. It's okay to use professional language, nice headshots, and confidence, even if you're still building your experience.
You know how some freelancers say "we" on their websites, like they have a whole team, when really it's just them, their cat, and a laptop that crashes twice a day?
Exactly. But that kind of positioning helps you look serious, which earns trust if you're actually delivering value.
So dress like the expert, talk like the expert, but most importantly, work like the expert behind the scenes.
Bingo.
Next up, saying yes before you're ready. I love this one. I once accepted a gig designing a logo and then had to Google how to design a logo.
Risky, but not uncommon. There's nothing wrong with stretching beyond your comfort zone. In fact, it's how most people grow.
But you've got to bridge the gap with hard work, like you say yes on Tuesday, panic on Wednesday, binge learn on Thursday, and deliver on Friday.
That's the hustle. Just make sure you're not over-promising things you can't learn fast enough. Otherwise, you're setting yourself and your client up for disappointment. And the most important rule? Know your boundary. If what you're faking could put someone at risk, emotionally, financially, physically, then don't do it.
So pretending to be a confident speaker, pretending to be a surgeon? No.
Honesty isn't just a virtue, it's a responsibility. Be clear about what you can do, what you're learning, and what's out of your lane.
And if you're ever unsure, that's a sign to pause, check yourself, and ask if your bluff helps or harms.
So let's be real. When is it okay to fake it, Leo?
When you're stepping into a new role, launching a side hustle, or taking on a project that scares you, but that you know you can grow into.
Yes. When the pressure forces growth, not collapse. It's also valid when you're building confidence, like in presentations, networking, or pitching ideas.
Fake confidence until the real thing catches up. That's legit.
But if the stakes involve health, money, legal risks, or vulnerable people, don't fake it. That's where trust, safety, and laws live.
You can't figure out how to be an engineer while building a bridge. Just know.
Or pretend you're a therapist because you give good advice. That's dangerous. These roles require real qualifications.
So this whole thing really comes down to balance, right?
Exactly. Balance between pushing your limits and staying grounded in honesty. Between self-belief and self-awareness.
And also knowing that making it doesn't mean becoming some perfect, polished version of yourself. It just means showing up with value and growing with consistency.
Show the world who you want to be, but also be ready to back that up. One skill, one step, one challenge at a time.
All right, Gwen. Time to test our thinking. Here comes the first question.
When do you think faking it is helpful, and when is it harmful?
I think it's helpful when you're learning and growing. It's harmful if you're lying to get ahead.
Yeah, it's all about intention. If you're faking effort to grow, that's one thing. If you're faking to deceive, that's another.
Second question coming in hot. How do you personally deal with imposter syndrome?
I talk to friends and remind myself of what I've done. Even small wins count.
I fake confidence until my brain catches up. Sometimes I even talk like I know what I'm doing until I believe it.
And now, we want to hear from you.
Do you think fake it till you make it is more helpful or harmful in real life? Drop your thoughts in the comments. So Gwen, is fake it till you make it a genius move or a disaster waiting to happen?
The answer is, it depends how you use it. With clarity, honesty, and a work ethic, it's a powerful mindset. With lies, shortcuts, or ego, it's a trap.
Think of it like this. Use fake it as a launch pad, not a lifestyle.
And don't just chase appearances. Build real value. That's how you actually make it.
You don't need to have it all figured out, but you do need to be figuring it out.
And if you ever feel like an imposter, good. That means you're growing.
All right, fam. That's a wrap for this episode. Whether you're faking confidence or building it from scratch, we see you.
Keep stretching, keep learning, but most of all,
Keep it real.